You can see how thick and rich that is. Sausage gravy and biscuits is always so good in the morning. It's filling and delightful. I'm going to show you how to master sausage gravy. It's really simple, but there are a few things that you need to know. The first thing we're going to do is put our biscuits in the oven. So I just put cooking spray on an aluminum lined cookie sheet, and I can set this aside now. And then these are just canned, all these biscuits. You can use any brand that you want to use. Woo! That scared me. Jerry Clower. If you ever know the comedian Jerry Clower, oh boy, he was a long time ago in the 60s and 70s. He was from Yazoo City, Mississippi, and he talks about how modern women cook these biscuits and they open up the cans, and he's like, every morning about 6:30 in the morning, you hear whop, 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 whop. All these women hitting these cans of biscuits on the counter trying to get them to open up. And that kind of shocked me there, obviously. And it very much reminded me of that. So I've got this oven at 350. This says to cook them in the oven at 350. So I'm just throwing them in here. Okay, so those are in the oven. I've got my skillet nice and hot. This is a 1 pound package of just breakfast sausage from Aldi's. Just dump that into the pan. Let this stuff get good and brown. And be right back. I gotta wash my hands now. So we're gonna brown this sausage. We just need to break it up. My mama used to make biscuits and gravy all the time. She taught me how to do it. I love it. Not necessarily good for a girl that's a diabetic and struggling with carbs and everything, but hey. This sausage and gravy is very easy to cook. It's really just sausage with some flour, salt, black pepper. Gotta have black pepper. Any food that's white needs black pepper. Yeah. And then half and half. You can use milk. I've just found half and half works better. And if I don't have enough half and half here, I'll add milk to it. So let's see how this is doing. Oh, that's got a nice sear on it. And that's what you want. You want this breakfast sausage to sear up nicely, to stand up to the flavor of the cream. I'm just turning these around. Make sure the sear sides come up and that the raw sides get down so they can get a good sear on them. And I'm breaking it up into fairly small pieces. I do like big chunks in my sausage, that's for sure. But you don't want it too big. Oh, this piece here got a really nice sear on it. You see, there's a couple of pieces there that got a really nice sear. We'll let this cook for a few more minutes. Okay, so let's see how this is doing. Yeah, see, those have gotten good and brown. Some people would say that is brown enough. I'm going to let it sear just a little more. It is looking pretty good though. So that is seared nicely. Yeah, that's the way I want it right there. But this sausage appears to have been pretty lean and didn't generate a lot of fat. So I'm going to add a half stick of butter. This is going to help make a nice roux for the sausage gravy. Yeah, let's put that in there. So that butter has melted nicely. We've got plenty of butter and oil in the pan. What I do now is add the flour now, because if you mix it now with this sausage, and this is one of the little tricks of it, is it prevents the gravy from being lumpy. That might be enough. So that was just about 1 cup of flour. And you want this to brown a little bit. I'm going to turn this down. You don't want your roux to burn whatsoever. And you need to stir it a bit. You need to let it brown a little bit so that flour can cook, so it doesn't just taste like paste. But it really doesn't need to brown a lot. That's about right there. I'm going to add some black pepper to this. Let that black pepper get hot down in that roux. Let it open up that black pepper a bit. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of salt in here. Easy to get too much salt. Let's take a look at that. That looks good. I'm going to check my skillets. They're looking good, but they're not done. So now I'm going to add my half and half. I just find that when you use half and half instead of milk, it's just richer and creamier. And you want to add it just a little bit at a time in here. Let me get this back up a little hotter. Yeah, so if you add it just a little bit at a time, you see how this gravy here, this milk and this roux are starting to meld together here. These are the things that prevent the lumping and stuff like that. That is looking good the way I like that. So now we can start adding a little more milk in here, or half and half. I know some people that actually use heavy cream in here. I think that's a bit much. All right. Now you want to stir this almost constantly. You don't want it sticking to the bottom. And that's the great thing about these Ninja NeverStick pans. They just do such a great job at cooking and nothing really sticking to it. But if you don't stir it, this stuff will brown. We're not looking for a brown gravy. This is going to turn out nicely. It's still pretty thick, and then when it comes up to temperature, the gravy is going to really tighten up. I'm going to pour the rest of this in there. So that was a whole quart of half and half. It was almost a cup of flour, and I put a half a stick butter in there to help with the roux and the gravy. If you got a really fatty sausage, you don't need that, but we needed it today. Like I said earlier, I'm going to stir this pretty regularly. That is simmering nicely. And now that it's starting to simmer, you see how that's starting to thicken up real good. I like that. That's what we're looking for. A nice, rich, thick gravy. So let's turn this down and let this simmer for a few minutes. Now would be a good time to taste it to find out, does it need more salt or pepper? We'll see. Let me grab a spoon. Mmm. Mm. So that is really good. Probably needs a little more black pepper for my taste, but for most people, it would be just about right. So this doesn't take long to cook at all. You just want this to simmer a bit. Let this tighten up nicely. It's looking really good now. Let me check the biscuits. The biscuits are just about done. So I've made the sausage gravy in the amount of time it takes to cook the biscuits. That's why I wanted the biscuits in there first, because this cooks so quickly. All right, so it's simmered well, and you can see how thick and rich that is, and it's really, really tasty. Let me make room for the biscuits. The biscuits are done. Let me just take a biscuit and cut it open. Okay, and then how about 2 biscuits? And now I will just spoon this gravy right over the top of these biscuits. That looks really good. Now I'm going to try the biscuits and gravy together. Mmm. Mmm. That's hot. That's creamy. It's delicious. It's got a nice sausage flavor to it. So you could put sage in here if you want. I'm not a big fan of sage in my sausage, but some people put sage in their gravy and in their sausage. That's up to you. If you've enjoyed this, leave a comment below and let me know what you do with your sausage gravy. Y'all have fun.